Hello and Mingalaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Williamson brings us two reports. The first on government returns 20% of confiscated land. And next on the essential role of hotel industry in tourism. Thora Within also covered the story on hotel and tourism during the Thadingyut holidays. Our reporter Thora in Beijing has a report on the development of Beijing's subway through years. Before we get to the reports, let's check on some local news. The Ministry of Labour, Immigration and Population held talks with the ILO Luxembourg project on the medical reform program for social health protection in Myanmar. The Social Security Board is implementing the medical reform with the assistance of the International Labour Organization by setting 3 prioritized plans and linking with IT reform. Union Minister Wu Deng-cui asked for sharing knowledge on a proper design and detailed plans for the Social Security Board in developing social health insurance program that is appropriate for the existing social and economic situations of the country. A few days ago, a film crew from a Japanese travel video production company, YTV Next Try, filmed leadweight training sessions at Thadingyut Gym in Tunte Township. The gym is run by a gold belt champion, Soto Al. The film crew also shot scenes of people going about their daily lives from atop Leaden Footbridge and other prominent locations in Yangon for episode 18 of their global travel program. They will next film the crocodile farm in Takeda and the drug elimination museum. The documentary will promote international interest in Myanmar and will be broadcast on Japan's Yomiuri TV. Channel News Asia filmed a travel documentary in and around ancient Bagan, the UNESCO heritage site of Myanmar. On Tuesday, the Singapore-based television crew shot the scenes of Bagan Temple's hot air balloon ride and interviewed a well-known puppeteer, Wu Miao. The documentary will also include puppetry, production of lacquer wares, hand paintings, Mount Popa, the pantheon of spirits including 37 nets, and the local gods. The CNA's Secrets of Empire program will also air an interview with archaeologist Dr. Pie Pyo Jo at the Bagan Archaeological Museum. And that's all with the local news, and we're moving on to our first report. For new Yangon City plan, the government acquired land in Jiminai Township, which is located in the west of Yangon. However, the regional government released 20% acquired land back to the original owners on 8th of October. More details from Williamson.
Yangon region government with the project of new development plans confiscated land in Thadingyut village in Jiminai Township, which is located on the other side of Jiminai. However, on 8th of October, the government released 20% of the confiscated land back to the original owners, as Thadingyut is located on the west part of Yangon. The government stated that for many years, the government has been working for the development of Yangon, focusing mainly downtown areas, but there has been very little development plan for other areas like Thadingyut. Another main reason for bringing new city plan to area like the La is with the increasing number of urban population and less space for the incoming population growth, Yangon has to expand its space, and Thadingyut is one of the first choices for the government for its new city plan. Land returning ceremony was held on 8th of September at Karomi Monastery in Thadingyut village, Jiminai Township. 22% of the locals received back their temporary certificates of land ownership from the government on that day. Speaking at the ceremony, Wu Pyo-min Deng, Yangon Region Chief Minister, explains.
New Yangon City, it's one of the most important projects by Yangon Region government. We have overcome several difficulties and challenges while planning this project. The main reason why the regional government wants to carry out the project is for the development of Yangon. The east part of Yangon had been mainly focused for years, whereas the west part has been ignored for new city development plan. We see the development of East Yangon, and we can proudly say that the east part of Yangon River has been rapidly developed, and there are still many challenges ahead of us to keep this development continuous. For the growth of economy, we are all working hard so that the common people will have good income sources. When we first formed the government, development plan for west part of Yangon was our first priority.
According to Upyo Minte, the only development project the government carried out was for Hlaing Thaya Township. Now, Hlaing Thaya has become one of the most important industrial zones in Myanmar, which contributes a lot to the nation. Initially, Hlaing Thaya Township was planned for around 3 to 400,000 residents, but now there are nearly 1 million people living in Hlaing Thaya Township, which is higher than some of the state's population in Myanmar. It is also said that Hlaing Thaya city has become more successful than it was expected. Most of the people who reside in Hlaing Thaya come from regions such as Ayawari, Bago, Magui, and Rakhine State. However, some of the main issues the locals in the area face are lack of water supply, paved road, and bridges. Speaking at the ceremony, Upyo Minteng said the government is now working on finding water source for the West Yangon water supply, and in the near future, the local will soon have water supply. After receiving temporary certificate of land ownership, Umyo Jo said,
There are a total of 22 wards in Jiminai Township, and 4 of them are located on the other side of Line River. If we compare these 4 wards with the rest of the wards in Jiminai Township, these 4 lag behind in all aspects. After learning that there is a new city plan by the government in this area, it has been a dream come true for the locals in this area. Besides, we are also extremely happy for the 20% of the land being returned to us, and I want to express my gratitude on behalf of the locals here. All I want to request to the regional government is to meet the basic needs of the locals, such as electricity, road, and water supply.
This is Willinson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on government returns 20% of confiscated land. All right, we'll move on to weather forecast now. In Yangon, it's going to be clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots in the afternoon, and it will be partly cloudy at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s, and there's about 46% chance of rain for the day. We may not notice or pay much attention to it, but wind gusts is at 13 km per hour. In Naypyidaw, there's going to be clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, and there'll be a thunderstorm around in the evening, otherwise mostly cloudy at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s as well, and there's about a 40% chance of rain for the day. Just a very low speed of wind gusts at 7 km per hour. In Mandalay, there's going to be overcast with a couple of showers in the morning, then clouds and sun in the afternoon, while there'll be overcast with a thunderstorm late at night. The temperature throughout the day will also be in the mid-30s, and there's about 64% chance of rain for the day. Wind gusts of 13 km per hour is expected to hit the area. Stay with us, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Myanmar received around 4 million tourists last year, but compared to other neighboring countries, it attracts less tourists. According to experts, Myanmar has weakness in promoting tourism since there is not enough financial support for tourism promotion. And we all know hotels also play an essential role when it comes to attracting more tourists. Let's hear from Willinson again.
Myanmar is a country with so many beautiful places and rich cultures and heritages. However, it hasn't attracted tourists as many as other neighboring countries. Roughly, Myanmar received 4 million tourists in 2018. But why is Myanmar failing to attract big number of tourists like other countries? Uma Maunai, Managing Director of Myanmar Hotelier Association, speaking to the media at Now and Then Hotel Expo at Rosewood Hotel, said,
The
hotels we have here in Myanmar are not up to the standard of foreign hotels, and there are many tourists who come to Myanmar would come after contacting with the hotels here in Myanmar. So firstly, the tourists need to be familiar and know the hotels here in Myanmar. Well, then only we can attract more tourists at the same time and we can have a good market for hotel and tourism. The tourists need to know we have the hotels like theirs back in their countries.
But how will the tourists learn about Myanmar hotels? According to U Maongnai, he said,
ဟိုတယ်နဲ့ tourism နဲ့အင်အားနဲ့မနိုင်ဘူးခင်ဗျအစိုးရအနေနဲ့ပံ့ပိုးမှုလိုတယ်အစိုးလိုနေတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့လူတွေမပြောကြဘူး
We need to organize several international hotel expos and we need to make a better advertising to tell to the world more about tourism in Myanmar. So when it comes to national budget for tourism, there is not enough budget to promote tourism effectively. Tourism cannot be promoted only through hotel and tourism industry. The government needs to support the industry well, as government is the key player when it comes to doing big business. However, the main issue in promoting tourism is lack of financial support for tourism industry in Myanmar. We need to attract the tourists with different attractions, not just the pagodas, ancient monuments and heritage sites which our country has to offer. We also need to have every entertainment program such as food, casino and others which the tourists love to have. But unfortunately, the people dare not talk about these stuffs. What happens when we don't tell the tourists about what we can offer? This is how we can attract a tourism to our country.
with the aim to promote hotel and tourism, Yangon Then and Now Hotel Expo 2019 will be held at Fortune Plaza from 18th to 20th of October, and according to U Min, the chairman of Myanmar Hoteliers Association, he said this is the important step in attracting tourists. Speaking to MI Radio, he said,
ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတော့အခုဒီလိုပွဲလုပ်တာကတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ
We need to organize more expo like this. This is how we can tell the tourists about our tourist destination, and then we can have the increased number of tourists to our country, which will bring a good thing for both the tourists and the business owner.
According to U Min, a few years ago, the hotels in Yangon used to be expensive, and there were times when the tourists paid $500 to $700 for one night stay. That was due to lack of hotels in Yangon. But in the last 2 to 3 years, the number of hotels has increased from approximately 150 to 430 hotels roughly in Yangon. Though the number of hotels has increased significantly, tourism hasn't improved as it should be. For example, if the hotels industry was improved 100%, tourism has improved only around 20%. Speaking on what have to be done in order to bring improvement in tourism, U Min explains more.
tourism promotion ဆိုတာကျွန်တော်အဲ့ tourism promotion လုပ်ရမှာပါကျွန်တော်တို့နိုင်ငံ tourism promotion လုပ်ဖို့ဆိုရင်လည်းအခုကျွန်တော်တို့အခုလုပ်မဲ့ပွဲ
We are weak in promoting tourism. We must promote it. To do that, we need to organize many more of hotel expos where we can invite foreigners. Then only we can be familiar with them and have a good relation. And then we can bring improvement in tourism.
This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on the essential role of hotel industry in tourism. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,533 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 214 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,684 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,877 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,110 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 365 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats. And the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,509. Silver is at $17. And Brent crude oil is at $52. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 11,500. MTSH went up 50 and it's at 3,700. MCB dropped 1,000 and it's at 7,300. FPB is at 22,500. TMH is at 2,950. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can visit our website at miradio.com.mm and listen to our radio programs live on the website. We're also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or you can simply download MI Radio app on your smart devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Well, we have more reports for you, so let's check out the next one. One of the activities the locals enjoy during the holidays is traveling. For this year's Thadingyut festival, there are 5 holidays, so people have planned to travel domestically during these holidays. The number of local tourists is expected to increase during this year, Thadingyut holidays. Let's hear from our reporter, DJ Henry Zin.
Thadingyut is one of the famous and important festivals of Myanmar. The locals enjoy it a lot because they get holidays and some of them spend the holidays when traveling. For this year, there are 5 holidays for Thadingyut, so more people tend to travel a lot. Uzo Mintin, chairman of JTB Bolster, who is also the Joint Secretary General of Myanmar Tourism Federation, said,
The Thadingyut holiday, a lot of our people are traveling to compare with the past to the mainland of Myanmar, like Bagan, Mandalay, Inlay. And not only that, recently they've been traveling to the Changda, Nguizang, and some they even going to the Ngapali and Kotang as well. Actually, most of our people, when they travel, they said, we are going for a pilgrimage tour. So the one who are going to Bagan, Mandalay, Inlay, mostly they definitely go and visit some of the pagodas. But Inlay, the Pando Pagoda Festival is going on. So this is one of the attractions of our Myanmar people as well. As you all know, because the Pando Pagoda Festival is very attractive festival, so the people, Myanmar people, can go there. But for those who are going to the beach area, this is purely for the leisure. So they are going to take a rest there, enjoy the sea, sun, and holiday.
According to Uzo Meeting, the local travelers tend to arrange their trip on their own rather than buying the packages. They prefer to book the hotels and the transport tickets by themselves.
Nowadays in the world, the traveling style has been already changed. Instead of booking the packages of the travel agencies, the people book directly through the online travel agencies. So because we do not have much culture of packaging in the past, which is well developed, we do have some, but which is not well developed. That's the reason most of our people, they book directly to the hotel by calling or by booking through the online. Only some of our people book through the travel agencies. And then very unique thing is our people, together with the development of the new cars imports, a lot of people have the cars or in the relative or some, so they drive themselves. So we are expecting to see more and more cars on the Yangon, Naypyidaw, Mandalay Highway Road, which is to be crowded like Yangon.
They have booked for the winter holidays starting from the beginning of September. There are some rooms which are still available, but we are receiving many enquiries.
This is good news because I have called to several friends who own the hotels, who are the hoteliers, and then they are getting happy to see increasing bookings from our local travelers to their destinations, like the Bagan, Mandalay, Inlay, and Nguizang, Changda, needless to say. So this is a good thing that our people, local travelers, started to travel domestically, and then the bookings are increasing.
Because of the increasing amount of local travelers, Myanmar Tourism Federation is arranging to be the responsible tourism.
Actually, Myanmar, in our MTF, Myanmar Tourism Federation, we have the Domestic Travelers Companies Association. So through this association, we are now collaborating with all the stakeholders to help the travelers and to give the information to the travelers.
During these Thadingyut holidays, people want to explore different kinds of activities depending on the places they travel. Most of the hotel bookings are nearly full. Most of the locals are traveling domestically, and the number of local travelers is expected to increase. That's all about hotel and tourism during the Thadingyut holidays. This is Dora Swison from MI Radio.
That's a report on hotel and tourism during the Thadingyut holidays. Well, here's the last report on the development of Beijing's subway through years. It has been 50 years since Beijing's subway started in action. Through these years, there were so many developments and changes made on the way. One of our reporters in Beijing visited the Beijing Rail Traffic Control Center and learned more about their developments and processes. Here's her report.
Hello everyone, this is your reporter Daughter reporting you from MI Radio. This year marked the 50th anniversary of Beijing Subway system, which is currently one of the major transportation used by the citizen. They started in 1969 with only 23-kilometer long one subway line, which can transport about 2,000 passengers a day. Now the subway is evolved to the total of 678 kilometers and running 20 hours a day. Also, according to the statistics, about 12 million of Beijing populations are using subway on their daily basis. This time, I have got a chance to visit the Beijing Rail Traffic Control Center and got to know more about their development through years. They have that big screen around the office which are showing the statistics like how many people on the train or in the station and which stations are in the traffic right now and the surveillance cameras inside the station. Other features like safety of the trains and electrical maintenance are being controlled at the other side. One of the responsible person of the center mentioned that if there is something wrong with the train or at the station, the big screen will show the emergency signs at that place, so it is easy to detect and solve the problem more faster. Before 2008, the subway tickets are made with papers and used to tear them in the traditional way. But in 2008, they start using the card system for the subway tickets, and which reduced the large amounts of paper waste which were used for ticketing. More advanced technology was produced in 2017, which allows the passengers to buy tickets online. Currently, there are 4 ways to buy subway tickets, including with mobile phone application or at the ticket counters or machines or with personal electronic tickets. There are more than 16,000 control machines around Beijing for ticket services, and those machines make sure for data safety and electronic wallets of the users. The price of the tickets are variable according to the distance, and it at least costs 3 RMB per trip. Okay, so that's all about the report now. This is your reporter Daughter reporting you from MI Radio, and see you again.
That's all the reports we have for today. Next, we'll look into some international news here on Myanmar Today. A tool Google offered in the US to help cities measure pollution and emissions levels is now available in Europe. It compiles transport and building data from Google Maps with publicly available information about emissions. Google will initially offer the tool to Birmingham, Manchester, Wolverhampton, and Coventry, Dublin, and Copenhagen. It plans to add more cities on other continents in coming weeks, and any city can nominate itself via an online form. The Environmental Insights Explorer, EIE, offers data in 4 categories: building emissions, transport emissions, general emissions, and solar potential. In other news, the recovery of the ozone layer over Antarctica cannot be taken for granted and requires constant vigilance. That's the message from Dr. Jonathan Shanklin, one of the scientists who first documented the annual thinning of the protective gas in the 1980s. This year's hole in the stratosphere, high above the white continent, is the smallest in 3 decades. It's welcome, says Dr. Shanklin, but we should really only view it as an anomaly. The better-than-expected levels of ozone have been attributed to a sudden warming at high altitudes, which can occasionally happen. This has worked to stymie the chemical reactions that usually destroy ozone 15 to 30 kilometers above the planet. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today from me and the team. That's all for now. Thanks for joining me and have a great day.